Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Kerrigan. People have been inundating me with questions about how they should be playing Kerrigan now. Basically, two general talents got nerfed. They weren't specific to a character. A lot of characters had access to these talents. Those talents were Envenom at level 4 and Blood for Blood at level 16. Blood for Blood deals 5% less initial damage burst to a target, and then Envenom deals 180 damage. That scales up throughout the course of the game, of course, but it deals its damage over 10 seconds rather than 5 seconds, so it's not as bursty. Essentially, with the changes to these talents, people have been asking me, how should they play Kerrigan now? Basically, any damn way you want to, but I'm going to try to come up with a build today on the spot, just to see how it works.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Tomb of the Spider Queen. At level 1, we are going to be picking up Sweeping Grasp. This is one of the talents that I almost consider required for Kerrigan. Now, there are ways to get around this talent, but essentially the Sweeping Grasp talent makes it easier for you to land your Kerrigan combo, which is the backbone of everything you're going to be doing on Kerrigan. Now, looks like the friendly team here, let's say hi to him, wants me to solo bottom lane, which is a little weird. Typically with Kerrigan, you want to be roaming with a partner. So that would be myself and Malfurion, or myself and the Butcher. We would be roaming from lane to lane to lane, trying to secure as many ganks as possible. It doesn't seem like the team is going for that today. Can we get a spin? Can we get a... Okay, we can't get a spin. Today's build is going to be based off of auto attacks. Kind of. Oh, is he dancing? I think he felt bad for attacking me. No, it's bait. Okay, got it. It's going to be focused off auto attacks. I want to be able to cleave stuff down with Fury of the Swarm. I used to play a ton of Kerrigan back in the day. I guess I was exploiting, but I didn't mean to. I didn't know. Because Fury of the Swarm, or whatever the fuck it's called, yeah, that's it, used to lower your cooldowns in tandem with battle momentum. So instead of lowering your cooldowns by 1 second every time you auto attacked or whatever it did, it would lower your cooldowns based off of how many minions you just hit. There we go. Good Kerrigan combo is going to at least lock down the enemy Kael'thas for a little bit. I don't feel the need to jump in any further than that. We do lose our Zagara up in the top lane. The friendly team, Illidan, the Butcher, Kerrigan, Zagara, Malfurion. So we have a decent team. We don't have too much front line. But what do you need a lot of front line for? Nothing. That's who. I know we are split on DPS right now, but I feel as though I'm on the right target still. And we do take down Kael'thas and Uther at the same time, probably because of that split DPS. Because our DPS was split, they both had the confidence to stay in that fight. But little did they know, our Butcher does a ton of damage. They should know that by now. Let's go ahead and turn in our spider butts. We'll ping the Butcher to turn his in too. Since we have free time to do so, the lane's already pushed into the towers. That was a very safe time to go ahead and do that. The friendly Malfurion going for the scouting drone, but up top still having some trouble. It looks like maybe Zagara gonna die again. Actually picking up a kill on Murky there. So Fury of the Swarm, our basic attacks are going to cleave. We are taking this instead of Envenom. Now, truth be told, this is one of my favorite talents for Kerrigan. I like to be able to push lanes effectively, and this is a great talent for pushing lanes effectively. It also generates quite a lot of shields from her passive. I guess I should probably explain her abilities in full. So our Q is Ravage. It allows us to jump in on targets. Our W is a skill shot stun. Our E ability pulls targets towards us. Again, the Kerrigan combo is W into an E. And then our trait gives us a shield based off of the damage we do with our auto attacks and with our abilities. Now, because I'm going against two people right here, I'm not pushing against them too hard. We can let them come into tower range, and it's really not a big deal. We can just make sure that those living bombs don't do a ton of damage to everything, kind of bring them back into the middle of nowhere. Stitch is now in the lane. Let's ping danger there. We also see the friendly Butcher coming in from the top, thinking he was going to make something happen there, but he actually didn't engage. So yeah, we're just going to play cautiously. There's no reason not to. No reason not to. Maybe a little bit of an opening there, but I decided not to jump in on it. Essentially, what we're looking for is we want Kael'thas to miss a tornado and then capitalize on that mistake. Kerrigan, very, very good at reacting to people's misplays. Here we go. Because of the roots, we can jump in. But again, you see that we didn't wait for the tornado, so we are crowd controlled pretty much without anything we could do about it. He's overextended a little bit. Let's bring him into the stun. Not going to kill him here, but we could deal some damage. Push him out of lane. Gather some spider butts. We can go back in a few seconds. Try to make some more damage happen on top of this Kael'thas. Here we go. Completely missing the stun. That's okay. Uther is rooted. We probably could have pulled Kael'thas into the roots there as well, except I was crowd controlled till the end of time. Always a frustrating situation to be in on Kerrigan when you're going up against a lot of crowd control. We are going to be going for Impaling Swarm at level 7. Because I want to be able to take Merc Camps later on, and it's going to allow me to do that easier. Not going to use the E there, just going to stun the crap out of that Uther, pull Kael'thas back towards us a little bit, and then go back to farming the lane. We want to make sure we don't overextend. Very important. Very, as I jump directly into everything the enemy team has. Couldn't believe that combo didn't land there. It was very, very close. Very, very close. It's okay. We'll go ahead and turn in our butts. This may be enough for a bombardment. Here we go. Kerrigan combo on 2 members of the enemy team. We are going to catch Stitches and Tychus, and a great body block from our friendly Illidan player is going to secure that kill. Now we can simply back up and then re-engage here in just a moment, because it looked like Tychus was going to continue to follow. Tychus is continuing to follow. Unfortunately, I did not quite get the W off there, but the friendly team, turning in their coins, or turning in their spider butts up in the top lane, is going to start the objective for the friendly team. Now, Kerrigan with Cleave is great on this map because you can pull enemies in like I just did and then farm butts very quickly, gather XP very quickly. Tychus for the enemy team is going to be taken down, but unfortunately we are going to lose our Illidan as well. We can just clump these up, auto attack them down. Get the lane ready for the objective. Zagara making her way back up to the top lane to go versus this Murky. Murky can do a decent job of defending against that giant spider, so I don't think that's a terrible idea. I need to be mindful that I have 16 butts on me right now, and we need to hang on to them. So does the Butcher. We just need to be careful with where we're positioning. We know the enemy team is moving down here. We may be able to set up a gank here on Uther. The roots are real! And so are the body blocks. Unfortunately for Uther, he's not going to be able to retreat. Now we can move in on Kael'thas. A great tornado is going to stop me, but you can't stop the Butcher. And the Kerrigan combo is going to secure that death and drop a ton of butts on the ground that the enemy team will no longer have access to. At level 10, I am going to be going with Ultralisk. Ultralisk is my favorite of the 2 ultimates because it allows me to deal damage to the enemy team's backline without having to fight the enemy team's backline. Stitch is way out of position here. Let's go ahead and combo him down. We do miss the combo, but we pull him back into the chain ultimate of the Butcher, which is going to secure that kill as well. Very nicely done. I will admit it was not intentional, but still it was nicely done. Our Furion may die here. The heals over time, not quite enough to keep him going. Yeah, we should just leave. We should just leave. Let's go ahead and turn these in. It looks like Kael'thas is turning around. Not too sure why I still have vision of him. We had vision of him for a very long time. I don't feel like we should have. 10 more butts is all we need. Turn in, please. All right, there we go. The Butcher's turning in. We are going to get another objective going immediately after our last. And I'm just going to go back down to the bottom lane and start readying this lane for the next push. So we're just going to group these guys up and start cleaving them down. Dodging skill shots for days. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We do see Stitches on the enemy team joining Kael'thas down on the bottom. The grasp was not for Stitches, although it looks like that was enough to scare him away. We're just going to continue cleaving. So what is my plan for this build? I think at the next level range, we are going to go for some more auto attack damage. I think that's the plan. Stitches, come back! I forgot he gets a movement speed increase there. I should have dropped that sooner. Looks like we are pushing the top lane. 2 members of the enemy team are already dead. How ballsy do I want to be? I mean, we do have the Ultralisk here. We probably just wasted it a little bit. Let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Come on, Ulti. I don't want you to die. You gonna come to where I'm fucking pinging you to come? Thank you, buddy. Go back in and you tell that fort who's boss, Ulti. You cleave that fort down. Alright. So with the other ultimate, with Maelstrom, I find myself really eager to jump into altercations, which I mean is what the ultimate is designed for. But with my general playstyle for Kerrigan, and this is, again, strictly speaking for me, I find that I die a lot. Because of that, I should probably be going with Sprint at level 13. But we've been playing pretty well. The team's working with us really well, so I have confidence in taking Double Strike at this level. What is Double Strike going to do for me? It's going to increase my attack damage every single time I use an ability. So we go in here with the Grasp. Auto attack damage increased by how much? 50%. And then remember, our auto attacks are cleaving as well. So that 50% auto attack damage is going to everyone around us, which allowed us to deal a ton of AoE damage right there by just casting our normal abilities that we would cast like in any altercation. We just get more AoE damage out of it. I am focusing the fort here as the team is going in doing crazy stuff. I think one of the advantages to this build as well is that Kerrigan should be able to take mercenary camps very easily. So let's clump these guys up. Remember, our W is going to be spawning in Zerglings. These Zerglings are going to be tanking this camp for me while they're still alive, which, I mean, is not too crazy long. But it does mean that I take less damage while we're here, and ultimately means that I can take mercenary camps by myself much safer, and with the extra damage of the Zerglings a little bit faster as well. This was a mistake, but I'm going to make the best of it. Kerrigan combo on 3 members of the enemy team. Let's go ahead and spawn in ulti. We get a damage increase from casting ulti as well, and the chains from the Butcher are going to secure a kill on the enemy Uther. Now, I am very low on health. We do need to start backing up. We are getting picked off by the Odin here. Hopefully Malfurion can keep me alive. He's doing a great job so far. Should we turn this around and go back in? I don't think so. Malfurion is out of mana. And Zagara looks like she is going to get away. The enemy team actually coming for me right now. I need to move. Dodge the hook quick. Hey! I did it! 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 Okay, let's sippy cup. Let's sippy cup. Right now we are 14-0, which I'm pretty proud of. Let's come down here and let's get some more butts. And again, we could kill this wave instantaneously by spamming our abilities. Don't get me wrong. You do not need to take the cleave on auto attacks in order to clear lanes effectively on Kerrigan. But the idea is that your blue bar, so important on Kerrigan because she doesn't have escapes. It becomes even more important with this particular build. If you don't have mana, you can't live through a lot of situations. Very good Divine Shield there is going to keep Tychus alive. So the idea is we want to be able to push lanes without using our mana, without using our blue stuff. And again, the cleave on auto attacks is just a great way to do that. Very fun play style in my opinion. I really enjoy it. Let's come in here, see what we could do. Pull Tychus into the stun. We actually pulled him away from the stun. And before we die, we'll just go ahead and spawn in the Ultralisk Malfurion, looking like he's going to be able to keep us alive. I'm not that crazy about this idea, though. Let's keep the Ultralisk on Uther, shall we? Let's keep the Ultralisk on Uther. I'm staying here so I can re-enter the fight if they need me. We are outnumbered right now, and we are taking a ton of damage, so let's just fall back. There's no reason to stay in this, and we do see a nice pickup from the enemy stitches on our Zagara as we were trying to run away. I should really just let this happen. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. We're in Hook City right now. We had the potential of being grabbed because of that play. It was a really bad play, actually. And he was only turning in one butt. I mean, it's not a big deal. It wasn't even like it was a very important turn-in. I should not have done that. I appreciate the Malfurion's eagerness to stick with me this game, though. I really do. At the next level range, we are not going to be going for blood. We are instead going to be going for aggressive defense. What does that mean? That means every time we cleave, we are generating quite the shield. You can see just from taking down that minion wave there, we generated a ton of shielding. And as long as we stay in combat and we continue to use our abilities, essentially my character has an extra 1,000 health right now, and you can see that is only going to continue to increase. Now this shield will go away after a short time, so by the time we roam up here to the top lane, it's likely going to be gone. But remember that the Ultralisk also generates this shield for us, so we could send the Ultralisk in on the enemy Tychus, and we are still getting a shield from the damage that he was doing there. We are in a bad spot here. I'm going to go ahead and mount up and then run around. No, I might go in here. Do I really want to, though? Eh, fuck it. I'm dead. Dodge the hook, dodge the hook, dodge the hook, dodge the hook. Where's the hook? Where's the hook? He sees me. He sees me for sure. Here comes the Pyroblast. The Pyroblast is going to be enough to kill me. Anything else is just overkill at this point. And then I did a little bit of extra damage to the Butcher just on top of that. Typically, I'm not a fan of the Pyroblast ability. If I actually was smart before I went into that altercation, I would have not gone into that altercation. And because of that, my friendly team is getting picked apart right now. Because they're walking into this fight without the numbers advantage. They should have just like sat by their tower and tried to defend. But that being said, I shouldn't have walked into that fight in the first place, so I'm not over here saying that I'm the best player in the world or anything. They do have their Stitches in the middle lane, and he's not a very good split pusher at all, so if we could engage here, it would actually be a pretty good time to do so. Zagara actually doing a ton of burst damage to the enemy Uther. The chains are around Tychus here. Tychus split off from the team now. Let's just go ahead and stun him, take him down very quickly. The Pyroblast coming out from the enemy Kael'thas. Yeah, we're going to take him down really easily with the Butcher. There we go. Ultralisk actually soaking up that tornado for me because he's such a good friend. Let's go ahead and clump these guys up. And you can see how fast Kerrigan is able to use her mana. I've only been alive for a few seconds and already at half mana. So that's one of the reasons, again, that I like the Cleave auto attacks. It's because you can clear lanes effectively without having to dump all of your mana to do so. Murky did have like 20 fucking coins on him. He doesn't have those anymore. Here I am getting Murky comboed. Is it going to be enough to kill me? Yeah, it is. It sure is. We did take him down as well. Of course, not really a good death. Now, the friendly team, they do have the numbers advantage up in the top. A good ultimate from the Butcher is going to secure that Uther death. Illidan using the Metamorphosis for that increased attack speed is going to have to bail as he was in tower range. The enemy Stitches is doing a good job of just capitalizing on my team's mistakes. And trust me, we're making a lot of mistakes. And really, that's the only way to play Stitches today. You capitalize on the mistakes of other players, their positioning mistakes, their over-eagerness to dive in, and then you punish them for that. Whereas Stitches of yesteryear, when he was the best tank, damage dealer, healer, and I don't know, something else in this game, he used to be able to just force mistakes. Whereas he can't really do that anymore. The Octo Grab combo going down on our Malfurion. Player is going to secure that death. I did soak up a stun for our Zagara, but it looks like that's going to be a kill for me. I was trying to go in to hopefully catch the grab. I did not think that grab was going to be enough to kill me, though. So unfortunately, we do die there. So guys, we're starting to throw. Stop the trickle. We were ahead for the majority of this game, and we had a lot of momentum going for us, but it just seems like recently, in the past 3-4 minutes, the momentum of the match is starting to change because we've been walking into so many of these fights completely outnumbered. So hopefully that little helpful motivational speech I just gave is enough to start to sway our decision-making back into what was making us successful in the first place. Illidan now a little overextended. I'm going to ping for assistance down here. I mean, the Butcher is up top, not really doing much of anything. Probably just trying to get his stacks back, which is important, by the way. That is important. But Malfurion doesn't need to be walking into here. Illidan doesn't need to be going in from that direction. This is just a situation where we should back up. I mean, they got the Mercenary camp. Good. Don't give him more. We gave him the Mercenary camp. We don't need to give him 2 kills on top of that Mercenary camp. And it looks like Illidan is going to make it out of there safely. Malfurion, with the Tranquility, is going to be able to make it out of there safely. I guess we could poke at them a little bit. Here we go. Grab on Tychus. Start to deal a little bit of damage. We are going in hard, though. Here we go. Sending out the Ultralisk. I was not expecting them to engage that hard from that. And we were completely split, and we're starting to be picked off. Illidan very low on health, retreating back to the base. But the Octo Grab coming out from Murky is going to be enough to kill him. It looks like this might be a good game. We just let the momentum go to the enemy team. We made a lot of really bad decisions as far as engaging in these team fights, myself included. I was definitely making some poor decisions. But this is the basis for the build. With this build, I want to be 100% clear. This is just theory crafting, right? You guys are asking me for alternative... What was that? You guys are asking me for some alternative builds, so I'm just trying to... I'm just trying to think of some. With this, you would want to take Bolt of the Storm at level 20. Unfortunately, Nexus Blades is not too viable of an option because, as you can see, with this particular setup, we are missing out on Sprint, which means when we're in a fight, we're in that fight until it's over, which is a scary thing, a very scary thing on Kerrigan. Typically, you want to be dipping in and out of fights. Like right now, I'm dead, just because that fight didn't go in our favor. Whereas with the normal Kerrigan build, you would have Sprint, and you would be able to disengage from that and be very safe. So I think Sprint is still a very, very, very important talent. Because waiting until level 20 to get an escape just doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good. So that would mean that you lose out on the double strike, which does limit your AoE damage. Would that change affect the build too much? No, not really. Not really. Because essentially Kerrigan excels at singling out targets in the midst of things. And the cleave damage on top was just kind of the icing on the cake. Trying to make her a little bit more well-rounded as a character. I think Sprint is definitely the way to go. But anyway, that was just a thought. Hopefully this will give you some inspiration with your Kerrigan builds. They don't always have to be so one-dimensional. And Venom and Blood for Blood, while they are, or were previously phenomenal talents, the times are changing. The times are changing. Blood for Blood, still probably the best bet at level 16. Just guessing. Just guessing. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, even though it was a loss. We were just theory crafting. You can expect some losses when you're trying out new stuff. I will be back with some more Heroes of the Storm very shortly, and I will see you all next time.